Okay, so this is a weird one. Alright, Legacy review number 2. This is Legacy Core Class Iguanus. Yes, out of all the characters it could have had right out of the gate with Wave 1, it chose the G1 Pretender. I don't know, this is just a weird figure. Because, like, out of all the characters you make new toys out of, why this guy? Like, okay, make a new toy of a Pretender, but you don't even make one out of a Pretender people actually like, I don't know, like Bludgeon or something. I don't know. Whatever. Let's just get on to the vehicle mode. So Iguanus, as with a lot of modern Pretender toys, basically takes the vehicle mode of the inner robot and the robot mode of the outer shell. So the original Iguanus toy was a tiny little action figure that could turn into a motorbike and had a big suit of armor that he could fit inside. And the robot mode is based off that suit of armor. But here's his motorbike mode. I don't know, am I rambling? I'm probably rambling. So it turns into kind of a weird motorbike looking thing. You can see here's the kind of the front windscreen there, the Decepticon symbol right up front. And I do kind of like how the motorbike mode kind of hybridizes, or kind of brings like the lizard mode into it. Like it has kind of the tail here. Kind of got some spikes all over it. I don't know, like this is a pretty nice little bike former. Like I think Legacy RC is probably the better bike mode, just because it actually kind of looks more coherent. But you know, this one does the job. As it rolls, got the two red wheels, which actually roll really well, which I like, considering not a lot of Transformers toys have wheels that roll very well anymore. You can zip them all over the place if you could stand up. It is possible to get them to stand up. I've been able to do that, but it normally just, yeah. And unlike both Legacy RC and Studio Series Wreck Car, no kickstand. It does, however, have a hole on the top there, so if you want to mount his gun, by all means do so. But yeah, it's really it for the bike mode. It's a really nice little bike mode. It's probably one of my favorite vehicle modes out of Legacy Wave 1, just because it's kind of a cute little pocket bike, you know? We don't really get very many bike formers these days, so it's when we do, it's kind of great. And I think this guy does the job, even though it's obvious this is just his robot mode kind of laying down. You can see there's his legs there and his arms there. As I said, I think Legacy RC does the better job because she actually finds a way to fold away all the arms and legs and then cover it up with the big side panels. But whatever, I'm going to save that for my Legacy RC review. So let's just get into the transformation. So what you want to do is you want to open up this piece, then separate these, kind of rotate the forearms there. Kind of rotate these forward, get them out of the way. Pop these off, or pop these kind of out to the side. Then you want to fold that out, rotate that around, then rotate the foot around, and you do that on the other leg, of course. Then you take these two pieces here, you kind of fold them up, they're on ball joints, kind of fold them up like that. Rotate the waist around, and put the arms down now, and just take this piece here, and there you go. It's a really simplistic transformation. I really dig it. Something I think the core class figures do a good job of, for the most part, is really kind of simple transformations. I mean, like, I think Starscream and then by extension Skywarp do a good job with that. I think Soundwave does a good job with that. I think Iguanus does a good job with that. But the others, like Optimus, Megatron, Hot Rod, and that Bumblebee from the Buzzworthy set, you know. And Shockwave is just really frustrating for ways I'll get to whenever I do the Shockwave review, which I'll review Legacy Wave 2 when I get all the Wave 2 figures. So, it'll be a while. But anyway, here's Iguanus' robot mode, if you can call it a robot mode. And this is what I meant when I said it kind of takes the design of the outer armor and just makes it as robot mode. So, as you can see, this isn't really just a robot, this is a lizard man. because, Pretender turns into something that isn't exactly a robot. As you can see, has this really cool, like, lizard face, glowing yellow eyes, some, like, spikes, little, like, fins or whatever. So let's just get into the articulation. So he has a ball joint at the head, so he can move his head side to side and up and down a bit, even though it doesn't really contribute much. Ball joint at the shoulder, so he can move his arm out, forward, and he would be able to move it back, but he has the backpack going for him. Ball joint at the elbow, so he can bend his elbow and rotate it around. A waist swivel, which not very many core class figures have waist swivels, which is nice. It's nice that he has one. Ball joint thighs, can move his leg out, forward, and back a bit. Ball joint at the knee, so you can bend his knee and also kind of swivel it, not very much of it. And he has a ball joint at the foot, so he can get ankle pivots in there, which, as with the waist swivel, that's not something a lot of core class figures have. So it's nice that he kind of has a higher range of articulation than a lot of the other figures of his size. Of course, both the waist and the feet are due to the transformation, whatever. But something I do like about this figure is the backpack. I know, I'm not really a big fan of Transformers having big giant backpacks unless they find a way to make it actually contribute to the robot's kind of silhouette in a way. That's why I'm totally fine with the backpack on Power of the Prime's Moonracer, because it kind of gives the robot a kind of a unique look. But this one I do really like, especially from the back. I think it just comes together really nicely. Basically just takes the front of the bike, pops it there, and then has the wheels on the side, which I think especially the wheels on the side from the front, that actually looks kind of legitimately cool. I kind of dig the amount of paint. Look at this. Bright gold and red chest plate, some black gauntlet looking things, gold knee pads. I don't really think this guy looks like a robot as much as he looks like kind of a He-Man dude with robot bits, which is probably what they were going for. He also has the tail, which is nice. I believe the original Iguanus toy had a tail. I don't know. I don't really own any G1 dudes. I already kind of showed you his gun in robot mode, but here it is again. So as mentioned in the Skywarp review, they kind of had this weird combining weapon gimmick for the first wave of core dudes. However, as with Skywarp, this means that his weapon is effectively nothing. It's this weird, I guess gun thing. Kind of got some nice gold and red to it, which is nice. But I mean, what are you supposed to do with this? Of course, it uses 3mm pegs, so you can just have him hold that there. And to be fair, I do like this more than Skywarp's weapon, because at least you can kind of get some cool poses out of it. Something I kind of like to do. Kind of get some cool poses out of it, I guess, if that's what you're into. But I mean, the reason I like some of the guns, the reason I like, I don't know, the guns that come with Earthrise Grapple, or Siege Red Alert, or the Earthrise Dodson mold, is because they actually look like legitimate actual weapons. This is just nothing. Granted, it's less nothing than the thing that comes with Skywarp, but I mean, it's still nothing. It's really obvious they kind of just had an idea for a big combining weapon and then just said, whatever, components are meaningless anyway. So yeah, this gun's kind of stupid, but whatever, what are you gonna do? Of course, it also carries over the core class tradition of having a 5mm end, or 5mm port on one end, so if you absolutely have to give this to a bigger figure, at least you have that option. Of course, due to the way he transforms, he actually has a 5mm port on the bottom of his hand, I think. Pretty sure. It's really shallow, but you can at least kind of do something like this. I don't know, you can have a big claw arm now or something. That kind of works, right? I don't know. Whatever. So Iguanus, I personally think, is my favorite out of the Wave 1 cores, just because he's the only one who is a new mold. And overall, yeah, it's really interesting that they decided to go with this guy. And apparently we're going to be getting Skullgrin in Wave 3, and there's rumors of a Voyager-class Metalhawk, which are, yeah, I mean, Hopefully with Metal Hawk, they don't do what they did with the Timelines Metal Hawk and just make it absolutely horrifying. But yeah, I think this guy gets the job done. He has a really kind of cool silhouette and robot mode. Bike mode really is kind of nice. His gun is just absolute nothing, but I mean, whatever. He has spikes in his gauntlets. He could probably rough you up in a fist fight. So, there you go. I just don't really know why he's small, but granted, if he was a deluxe, I don't think anyone would have bought him. So, yes, my obscure character radar is kind of off the charts on this one. So, he's cool. He's a nice little guy. I'd say you should pick him up, honestly. Like, as one of the core class guys, it's probably meant to be more to scale with the bigger guys. Yeah, he's really nice. I think he really does kind of get the job done, or whatever. I don't know. I like how he has more articulation than your standard core class guy, and overall, he's a really good figure. So I'd say if you like the core class, this guy is a definite win for you. Definite win for me, anyway. So, with all that being said, that's it for this review. So tune in next time as I do Hot Rod, and that is a frustrating figure, but we'll get to that in time. So, all that being said, this has been Rod and Todd signing off.